third and fourth year award winners please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Students graduating with a grade point average of 3.0 but less than 3.5 are listed as graduating cum laude and are designated with the white cords. This year we have 30 students graduating with this high honor. Students, will you stand and please be recognized? Thank you. Students graduating with a grade point average of 3.5 but less than 3.75 are listed as graduating magna cum laude and are designated by the Silva Cord. This year we have 14 students graduating with this high honor. Students, will you please stand and be recognized? Students graduating with a grade point average of 3.75 to 4.0 are listed as graduating summa cum laude and are designated by the gold cords. This year we have 26 students graduating with this high honor. Students, will you please stand and be recognized? As a group, the class of 2016 have achieved so much academically, as well as extracurricular areas of athletics, music, theater, arts, and clubs. As a class, they have been awarded to date $1,228,705 in scholarship money. Congratulations to the class of 2016 for your achievement. Now Mr. Keniston will introduce the top 10 scholars.
And values high academic achievement. Garber uses a formula of the ACT score times 27.778 plus the GPA times 250 for selecting the top 10 students for the academic honors, as well as the valedictorian and salutatorian. Students, will you please stand and remain standing when your name is called. The audience is requested to refrain from applause until all are presented. Kayla Smith, valedictorian. Kara Bador, salutatorian. Melanie Thomas. Thomas Diopsimer. Rachel Highland. Brooke McCann. Jonathan Christie. Zachary Dubé. Kristen Smell. Jacob Foret. Congratulations to our top 10. And at this time, I'd like to invite the class salutatorian, Kara Bador, to come to the stage for our class of 2016 welcome. Please welcome Kara Bador.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Garber High School's 2016 commencement ceremony. As I was preparing what I will say to you this evening, I reflected on the past 4 years and was surprised by the growth and the learning that has taken place in this time. When I walked into Garber as a freshman, I had this idea that I would become someone new instantaneously. I even tried to convince my locker partner that since it was a new school, a new building, that I would be a new me. I wanted to be constantly energetic and the most outgoing person out there, but the thought was nice, but 8:30 rolls around, 8 a.m. actually, rolls around earlier and earlier every day and finds me shuffling into school, tea in one hand, hair haphazardly thrown up, and if I'm lucky, shoes that match my outfit. I didn't become the new me that I wanted to become, as I'm sure is the case for many of my classmates. All of us had expectations of some sort when we started high school, many of which never materialized. In other words, many of us did not achieve our initial goal. But does this mean then that the past 4 years have been a waste or that we're unsuccessful? Of course not. If that were the case, we wouldn't be here tonight. Our failure to become who we thought we'd be simply means this. At 14 and 15, we did not understand what we do at 17 and 18. Likewise, right now, we don't perceive the world the same way that we're going to when we're 21 and 22. This is proof that each person changes and grows over time and will continue in this process until his or her time here is finished. It is true, we can control our habits, choices, and our plans, but we can't always predict the future or what our interests will be when we arrive there. Some career-driven individuals among us will find it more satisfying to stay home and raise a family, while others, who have no desire to leave Essexville right now, may become the next U.S. ambassador to another nation. The reality is that life is not likely to go according to plan, but that does not mean that an individual is unsuccessful. According to dictionary.com, what basically got me through high school, or at least English class, success can be defined as the accomplishment of one's goals. To many people, success is associated with money or fame, which is true if the goal is to make a fortune or a name for yourself. Someone's goal may be to raise 12 awesome children or raise a camel or ride a camel through the desert. My goal is to spend enough time with Christ that I become like him, and I fail daily, and so I'd like to apologize for that. Whatever it is, though, defining your success almost always pertains to a goal of some sort. So how will we know someday if our life has been successful? Now, I'm not going to lie. I honestly believe that the goal of life is to become like Christ and to do God's will, but I understand that not all of you agree with my faith. At its core, however, this statement of my belief implies that the generic goal of life is to learn, to grow, and to change. Success attained in life, then, is not determined by good deeds or compliments, but in how our hearts have softened in the process. I'm not referring from making it from point A to point B, but by the fact that we worked hard to move past point A. I'm talking about living intentionally, because yes, it is great to set goals and to achieve them, but what is better is looking up from your goal and realizing that you may need to adapt to who you're becoming. And if you don't like where your life is headed, I urge you, please change direction. That doesn't make you a failure. It means that you were wise enough to see that where you were going is not a place that is going to make you come alive. In my room, I have a framed manifesto written by Mark Batterson. It is a gift from my youth pastor and his wife to our cadre group this past year, and in its entirety, the manifesto encourages me to live for Christ instead of myself. The first line is, "Quit living as if the purpose of life is to arrive safely at death." Now think about that for a moment. Quit living as if the purpose of life is to arrive safely at death. No matter how vast our differences are, every human being shares one thing in common. We are all going to die someday. The timing will vary, and it will look different for each of us, but the reality is that we can't live on earth forever. So what will we do then with that precious time? We can prepare for tomorrow, and it is wise to do so to an extent, but when will tomorrow come? When we get a degree, get married, buy a home, send children off to college, retire? None of us are even promised tomorrow. Money is valuable, and it can be used to do great things if stewarded correctly. What is more valuable, though, is time. Each of us has a stipend of time that is ours to spend. Will we spend ours trying to keep life in order? Because if you don't already know, life is pretty messy. It is better to embrace this fact than to waste time trying to make it nice and neat. Are we going to spend our time scrolling through Twitter for 5 hours or binge watching Netflix? I mean, I'm not pointing the finger because I've done it, but it sure does waste a lot of time. Some of us are going to try to experience life fully by being busy. And I would like to tell you from firsthand experience that being busy zaps your energy and your quality of life. Staying up until 2 a.m. every night doing homework for difficult course loads on top of learning 3 instruments, practicing rigorously for 4 competitions, rehearsing for a spring musical, having meetings or doing homework at lunch, and trying to balance church, dance, a social life, and sleep did not leave me feeling fulfilled. Rather, it left me exhausted. Now, I loved each of the activities I was involved in, but I had too much going on to enjoy any of them. So choose what you love to do most, but don't try to do everything. Use the time you've been given to make your life a success. Learn something new, grow skills you didn't know you had, and embrace change in yourself. My hope for each of you is that you will step into this new season of life without preconceived expectations of what it's going to look like. Be open to the new adventures coming your way, and don't feel defeated if the course of your life turns from your initial goal. Be satisfied that high school was a success because each of us have worked to become someone new. Now step outside of whatever high school has defined you as and be open to becoming the new you. Appreciate that there is no one on earth quite like you, and with that understanding, know that there is no reason to compare yourself to anyone else. Use your time wisely. Don't spend too much or too little, or waste it on a career that you hate. One last thing. On this journey, there will be times when you feel alone. I'd encourage you to remember that we've made it through high school together, and in the process, built each other up, celebrated victories, and we also stepped on and broken each other, trying to find room to grow. With that in mind, I leave you with this advice. Forgive, be kind to fellow humans, and stay in touch. Thank you.